Welcome. Welcome. For any of those who haven't yet met me or know me, I'm Meegan Willi. I am the instructional designer in distance learning and instructional technologies. I'm often answering emails that go into DLIT. So you might be familiar with me whenever it comes to Blackboard and technologies like that. I'm going to talk a little bit today on things you can do to make your courses and materials more accessible. Oh, there's a mouse. Okay. Here's the good news. For the most part, you don't have to worry about our learning management system. Blackboard was the first learning management system to be awarded a non-visual accessibility gold certification from the National Federation of the Blind. There are some challenge areas in the system. So they meet standards, but they can be trickier to use for your students with screen readers or maybe for students with different learning styles. The virtual classroom, which is like the chat tool, that is one of the challenge areas, and then the discussion board can be really challenging. Navigating through discussions can be very tricky for screen reader users. That's one area that they just started working on now, and they're going to be revamping, and so we'll have it available in a future service pack. But it's just important to be aware of these so you know that you might have students that need some extra help getting to some of those things. The one big thing, if you do have a lot of discussion in your class, students, if they use the collect feature, so when you go into the discussion board and you see the number of new posts that are there to read, if they can access it that way, it gives the screen reader a better access to the discussion board. The major accessibility concern with your courses and with Blackboard is going to be with things that you add. So the materials that you upload, your syllabi, your PowerPoints, anything you add like that, and anything you link to. So it's important that if you're using publisher materials or linking to some external resources, that you make sure that you're linking to something that's going to be accessible. Videos that are captioned. Things that are going to be, your students can navigate just using the keyboard. I'm going to cover Word documents, a little bit about PDFs, HTML files, and PowerPoints. There's a lot to some of these different guidelines, and we just don't have time to go into everything in detail today, but I will give you resources at the end. There are checklists all over the web for how to do these different things in Word. The versions of Word are also very different. For the most part, this is all going to be Microsoft Office 2010. For the Mac, I'll point out there are a couple things you just can't do. And if you're an older version, some of these things look different, and some things just aren't available at all. So if you have any questions about those, you can always contact Distance Learning, DSS. We can help you figure out what to do. The biggest thing that you can do to help students who are going to use screen readers to access your course materials are to structure your documents well. So this is going to be particularly for long documents. I don't want anyone to freak out if you have a lot of Word documents in your courses. If they're shorter, and very easy to comprehend, you're not going to have to worry about all these things as much. But for long documents, for your syllabi, where there's a lot of different information, if you can use the formatting tools in Word to give it a good, strong outline, it'll help all of your students, and particularly those who are going to use a screen reader. We're all pretty much used to using bold, changing the size of your fonts, and that. But there are actually styles built into Word that if you use those and create a heading structure, you'll greatly increase the ability for your students to navigate through your document. Screen readers can skip to different sections if you do this. The big styles to use are heading 1 for your title, heading 2, and heading 3. And it just keeps going on and on. So there are multiple headings. And for any regular text, just stick with normal. There are multiple setup styles already in Word, and if you don't like them, you can change any of the styles. Okay, the styles bar is on the main home tab when you're in Word. Anything, if you want to change it, you can just right-click on it, modify a style. If you don't like how something is sized, you can always change it. You could even save your own custom style that you want to use for all of your documents. It's not critical that things be visually different. So it can be challenging when you go in and you start changing things and using some of these formats. You get underlines. Some of the fonts get really large. The big thing is the coding that's going in behind it. So when you identify something as a heading 1 or a heading 2, it's going to pass along that information to Adobe if you save it as a PDF, and it's also going to keep that information in the HTML code if you save it as an HTML file. So doing all this work up front in your Word document will also make those other formats accessible. You can do a lot more with your document if you use the style features as well. The big thing is if you have a long document, you can make an automated table of contents, which is going to be really helpful if it's an extremely long document for people to skip to different portions. To create a table of contents, all you have to do is click on the References tab in Word, and then click on Table of Contents. This is a little screenshot. It gives you some different options. When you're going through and adding one of these in, you can always update it as you go. So you don't even have to worry about adding in the page numbers or where a specific item is in your Word document. As you change it, you can update the table of contents. It's just a one-click thing, and it'll automatically update that for you. And when you save this into other formats, those table of contents items are clickable. So even, your students who can read your document, have no problems, understanding where they are in it and what it might be, they can easily get to a specific section very easily. One of the biggest things, and a lot of these guidelines you'll see really apply to all kinds of documents. It's just that for the most part, we usually start in Word and then save it as a PDF or an HTML file. But anything graphical, so images, charts, diagrams, needs to have alternative text. It's as easy as right-clicking on an image and then going down to alt text, and then you'll get a box like this. And I'm not sure why they set it up this way, but you'll see it on so many checklists. You want to skip the title area. Always put your alt text in the description box. And if you have an image that you're using that has no value, if it's just for decorative purposes, you want to put an empty description here. So if you just go into the alt text, put a space in there. Screen readers will just skip over that image. Yes? Yep, that would be true in PowerPoint. Adding links is also very important. I have a couple examples here of some different ways things are linked. Yes?
I have a design question.
Sure.
So do you think it's better to just do that or to put in a description, say pictures of children playing? If they have limited vision, they might see the picture but not really see it. And so it would just pass by them, they might think they're missing something. I've seen it done both ways, so I was curious.
True. That never occurred to me. It might, it might. And, a lot of times I think we often put something in, it has some value in some way. So I think whenever you're in question, I would add, some text. Then if people navigate, if you save it as a web page, if they're looking at it with their images turned off, they would also see that description too. So I'd always err on that side of giving more information. But if it is truly something that, could be skipped, go ahead and put in the null. So here's an example of some linked text. To read more about Blackboard and accessibility at GRCC, click here. I know we've seen this all over the place. We're so used to doing click here, read more, go here. it's very difficult when someone is going through this with a screen reader to know exactly what you mean. So whenever you're writing a link out, make sure that you're linking the text that's going to make sense outside of context. So without knowing exactly everything else that's going on, they'll know exactly where they're going to go if they do click on that link. So instead of using that first example, read more about Blackboard and accessibility at GRCC, where here, Blackboard and accessibility at GRCC are underlined. Yes?
Are you saying, let's say we have a document, we want to show like a syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to hit a syllabus, and they want to know the reader to hit that syllabus. What are you saying to do? To make them access that?
Instead of hyperlinking words like click here,
Right.
that don't let the user know where that link is going to take them, where
Right.
use the words, the
You'd
descriptive.
Like to say syllabus, bam, or
This-
course detail.
Right.
Okay.
Those would work. This is more within the context of the document
Okay.
that you would get to this. If you're adding items to your class,
Right.
just naming those so that, it's pretty clear, we're going to go to the syllabus folder for syllabus information. You shouldn't have a problem with any of that. Now, this link might be understandable to most of us here. Read more about universal design at GRCC by going to www.grcc.edu/UDL. Sometimes URLs can get really long, and they might have acronyms that have no meaning to your student necessarily. So it's always better to stay away from linking just the URL and stick to linking the hyperlinking the words. So read more about universal design at GRCC. And then if you think this document might also be used, in a print format, you can also include the URL there. One thing you'll run across a lot in Word and PowerPoint is when you're copying and pasting links in for like YouTube videos. It's going to automatically hyperlink that link. And if you look at the example here, that has no meaning to any of us. So to edit a hyperlink in any of the Office products, if you right-click on it and go into the Edit Hyperlink box, you'll have the link at the top, and then what you want to do is change that display text. So I changed it here, videos on how to add YouTube videos into a Blackboard course. And then in your document, you'll see that display text. You won't see the URL, but users, when they click on it, they'll go to the page you intend for them to get to. It's also a good idea whenever you're linking to something, if you are going to open it in a new window, to include that. So if you can say opens a new window, just so that your users know that they're going to be redirected somewhere else. Tables in Word documents. Stay away from using tables for laying out information. You want to keep tables just for displaying data and to keep them simple. Stay away from using anything like tabs or spacing to try to create a table for data. Always use the insert table option. That way the screen reader is going to know what to do when it gets to that information. The toughest thing is letting a user know what the header or the row or the column, what the titles are. There's not a good way in Word to do this. If you go into the table properties and check the repeat as header on top of each page, this is actually going to let Adobe know that, hey, this is where my header information is. So if you have, a table with some statistics, if you're letting people know, as you export this document, it'll keep that information. And then also include alt text for your table. Or it'll benefit the most of your users if you just include some text before or after it explaining what the table is describing. Some other tips for Word documents. You always use bulleted and numbered lists. Use true columns and tables. So if you use columns at all in your document, be sure that you're actually selecting columns so that Word will format it properly. It'll be read down each column and then over, and it'll make sense to your users. Stay away from using color as the only way to show meaning. Try not to give descriptions of, click on the blue button, because you might have users who, are colorblind, who, won't see that color. So instead, hopefully that button is also labeled, the blue button that says start. Use paragraph spacing. Every time you enter a new line with the enter button, it's going to read blank to your users with a screen reader. So you could have a lot of those depending on how you're formatting your document. And if they keep hearing that, they might feel like it's the end of the document. So there's paragraph spacing, and this is right in the Styles menu. And you can actually set up in your document. So after every paragraph, I always want it to have, an extra line there. And avoid using text boxes. If you add a text box, the text is going to be floating somewhere, and it's not going to be picked up and read like the other text in your document. There is an accessibility checker. This is only on PC versions. But if you just click on File, Info, and Check for Issues, you can check the accessibility of the document. And this is helpful. It'll bring up all of the warnings, and then you can actually just click on any of the warnings, and in that lower box, it'll tell you why you should fix this and how to go about fixing it. Now, when you save your Word document to a PDF, you want to be sure you're saving it as a tagged PDF, because all of that work you just put into structuring it with headings, that will then carry on. If you go into the options, when you go to Save As to select PDF to save this file, there's an Options button. And if you click on that, you want to be sure that these things are checked. So create bookmarks and document structure tags for accessibility. This is also something that you can't do if you're using a Mac. For some reason, there's no ability to choose these options unless you have the full version of Adobe Acrobat on your computer. Then there are options, when you're saving it that way. And you want to be very careful when you're scanning to PDF to give information to your students. When you just set something on one of the copy machines on campus and scan and email it to yourself, it's going to scan it as an image. So your students, a screen reader is not going to go through and identify all that text. There is actually a way to turn on OCR. It stands for, I think, Object Character Recognition. So it'll actually go through and try to pick up and detect what the words are. And a document in that format would allow students to have it read by a screen reader. The most accessible format is HTML. I think in many reasons, a lot of sites say this because it opens almost universally. Students don't have to have a specific piece of software. They don't have to have a plugin. When you're saving a Word document, you want to save it as web page filtered. It gives you the least amount of extra HTML code that's kind of more Microsoft specific. It can just add access to the page. I think for most of us here, if we're creating any HTML, it's while we're in Blackboard, and it's using the HTML editor. So I have a couple screenshots here to show you how to do those formatting things we did in Word, but to do them in Blackboard. So this is a screenshot of the editor that you'll run into just about anywhere in Blackboard. You can specify headings right there on that drop-down box. It currently says paragraph. You'll notice it'll go paragraph, heading, heading 5, and then heading 6. Screen readers are reading through Blackboard as, a larger hierarchy. So actually those heading 1s, those different levels you were using in Word, those are taken up by other components of your Blackboard course already, but the system's smart enough to just pick up on that. So just use heading for the top ones, and then heading 5 would be comparable to heading 2, heading 6 is comparable to heading 3. And then again, if you're going to add any lists, there are buttons to add a bulleted or a numbered list. And images in Blackboard, you can also add alt text to any of your images. If you're adding it just for the first time, anytime you add an image, you see this pop-up screen. And where it says image description, that's where you would put your alt text. Now, if you're going in and editing a class you've used before and you have some images in there where you want to add this, all you have to do is go into edit the item, right-click on the image, click on edit, and you'll get this screen again. So you can always change it. PowerPoint documents. It's best if you use the pre-formatted slide layouts. So, you know, when you go to insert a new slide and it has all those options with the title and either, you know, a picture on one side with some text on the left. The pre-formatted slide layouts will help because things are identified properly. So that the title in the title area will be given emphasis as title for the slide. And everything is going to be read in a specific order. And if you use the pre-formatted slide, it's going to be read in the right order. If you start adding other elements to it, you just want to be sure that you arrange them in the right order so it'll make sense when your students are going through the slides. If you can use unique slide titles, particularly if you have a long PowerPoint. So whatever you put at the top, you know, be sure to change that. Always add alternative text to your images. And stay away from using transitions and animations. Ensure all of your slides have good contrast and include captions or transcripts for any embedded video or audio. Yes?
I'm a self-disclose. I have, for my history classes, 249, 250, I think I probably have 400 images throughout the semester.
Mm-hmm.
Many of those don't have good contrast because they're dated or period specific, and a lot of them are highly detailed. How do you go about using alt text for that? And is there an expectation for when you should have that done? It's not a massive number. And the other thing is I have videos that are also time-dated and specific that don't have captions, they don't have transcripts. Those things are not available. Is there a service at the college or Liberty that will allow transcripts?
I know there's a CAP team working on that right now, and you'd want to contact DSS if you have a student who needs it in particular for those videos to get assistance with them. If it's not something you've created and you can't, you know, they don't offer a version with captioning and transcripts, I know there's a way where we could do that, and they'd be the best to ask.
White films of World War I. No audio.
No audio.
As far as for your pictures and alt texting on those, I'm definitely not an expert, so I don't want to give out any concrete advice on this. You can't do anything about the contrast, certainly. What I would do is, if you don't have either on the slide or in your lecture information about what you're hoping students are going to see in that picture, that's what you would kind of put in the alt text. You know, what is this a picture of? What's the meaning there, and what should they be seeing out of it? Lori? I don't have the answer for that. Simon?
The picture alt tag for web design requirement is to be 100 characters or shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Is this also a requirement for course content, or for the pictures to be shorter than 100 characters?
I'm not sure. I think so. I know that there is a way, if you have the need to add longer alt text, you can link to another place. You can put that link in your alt text description. But certainly if you have that case where you need more assistance with us, let us know. We'll figure out the answer. Camtasia Relay. Captioning is actually available as one of the options. If you're creating a new recording with Camtasia Relay. If you use the Include Captions option, and then you publish your recording, you'll get an email that lets you know that it's ready and it's being held for captioning. Supposedly, it's supposed to start learning your voice as you go. So the first time you go in and you go to our Relay page, relay.grcc.edu, and you log in there to access your recording, you'll get an editor, and you only get this the one time. So you only get it before you actually publish it for students to view. Unfortunately, with Camtasia Relay, there's no way to go back and edit it later, although you can with Camtasia Studio. But captioning is available if you're going to be making some new recorded videos. And this is what it looks like. It's right in the web when you log into our Relay page, when you go into one of your videos, and it will attempt to put in captions, and you just go through and edit them. Other options, though, for video, we have licensed NBC Learn, which is fully accessible. Every video in there is closed caption and has a transcript. When you're embedding YouTube videos, you can look, many YouTube videos have a closed caption on them. And then there are also databases through the library. And if you go to this website, if you're looking for something specific, it'll let you know specifically if a database has transcripts, if they're accessible, closed captioned. And then for our clicker system, think clickers would require you to think a little differently on how you might be using them. But if you do have students who are blind or have low vision, we can help you contact our vendor. And they have vibrating clickers available so students can feel if their vote has actually gone in. We can get Braille stickers for their clicker. There's a web clicker option as well, which was designed with students with disabilities in mind. So that's another option for you. And if you have any questions about the accessibility of iClickers, you can go to this website. Yes?
I have a question about Camtasia. Is there a way to upload those to YouTube?
That's coming in a future release. Yes. It's out, but we haven't upgraded to that yet. If you do have a video that you would like to get to YouTube, Camtasia Studio does have that ability. We can help you and deal it with that. So, and some additional resources. There's going to be training throughout this entire semester through the Center for Teaching Excellence. We also have a couple web pages, grcc.edu/bb-accessibility and grcc.edu/UDL. That's for universal design. So I'm going to turn it over now to Jeff. If you have any more questions, I don't want to run out of time. So if you just leave them to the end. Thank you.